Now it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce the chief guest for his address, Professor Dr.D.T.Shirke, sir, Honorable Vice-Chancellor of Shivaji University, Kolhapur. I'll very briefly introduce you, sir. His basic education has been in statistics, graduation, post-graduation, and doctorate. He had received UGC CSR fellowship for his research. He has held various administrative posts in Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He has got many credits, achievements, rewards, awards. He has been the chairman of very many committees of Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He has got 33 years of research experience as well. He has research collaborations with many institutions in India and abroad. To name a few, Florida International University, Miami, USA, University of Alabama, USA, and many other institutions. I welcome you, sir, for your address. Thank you so much.
Good evening, one and all. It is indeed a pleasure to be with you all this evening on the occasion of UN's Day on Eradication of Poverty. And we are observing virtually this day. I must congratulate Dr.Lesan Azadi, Director of Bahai Academy, for organizing this particular event. I am really impressed to listen to all the esteemed resource persons. Opening remarks of Lesan Azadi, then Dr. Tai, and just few minutes before, the District Collector of Satara, Shekharji Singh, and all the presentations were really wonderful. In my inaugural address, I just would like to put before you a few points. We'll try to connect all messages. In India, I think we should more focus on. I think I should start with a very important aspect that this country has introduced. What is that? Is a poverty line. Of course, it is not a domestic concept; it is a global concept. But we did have about 4 committees who work on this particular estimation of poverty line. It started way back in 1979 by Dr. Y.K. Alag. Then in 1993, Lakdawala committee was there. Then followed to that, 2009, Suresh Tendulkarji had his report on this poverty line estimation. And finally, very recently, 2014, Rangarajan committee was there. And when I compare these figures, estimated poverty line with the figures shared by Dr. Tai, I think our figures were too less, I would say. It is something like $0.50 or something like that in the present scenario. So I don't want to go into the head count of this people below poverty line, but I switch to another aspect of this poverty line is what is called as a multidimensional poverty measurement, which is in fact is accepted at global level. And we have been ranked in 2020 as a 62nd, something like that. This particular this index, which ranks the country in the list of all developing countries, has got 3 basic parameters. And these basic parameters are namely the health, the second is education, and the third is, of course, standard of living. And these 3 parameters are equally weighed. Each has been given weightage of 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And under each parameter, there are certain sub-parameters, I will say indicators by which the things are measured. And they, in total, they are about 10. So you have something like the nutritional issue, then you have child mortality, then you have schooling attendance in the school, then you have sanitation, then you have affordable energy, then you have electricity, and so on and so forth. What our government has done, Indian government has done, this government has mapped these 10 sub-parameters to the 10 ministries at a center. And each ministry has come up with a program so that the issues can be addressed under each of the parameters. For example, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan would take up each and every child should get education, primary education, something like that, and so on and so forth. So there are about 10 to 11 ministries who are working on this particular aspect. So this is one of the, I think I'm just taking a review of what is happening in our country. But at the same time, what I'm impressed with is the Sustainable Development Goals. Out of these 17 Sustainable Development Goals, about 6 to 7 goals are directly concerned related to these, the 10 dimensions. Namely the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and so on and so forth. And Niti, I think Niti Aayog is working on this, achieving these sustainable goals, attaining these sustainable goals, and monitoring the progress of sustainable goals achievement in the every year. I would share you, if you permit me, I don't know whether I can share with you my screen.
Yes, please. Yes, sir, you can.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
So I'm just focusing to this state of Maharashtra and 2020. You can see that on this particular top, you see some symbols. They are related to 17 SDGs, and the first itself is related to the poverty. The second is, of course, related to no hunger. The fourth one is quality of education, and so on and so forth. And if you look at this particular thing, so these all numbers, you can say if the number is displayed in the red cell, I think more attention needs to be given. If it is the green cell, I think we are up to the mark. And we need to perform if it is in a yellow. And we bet we are almost achieved if it is blue. And you can see that the 100, which comes under the affordable energy. So if you look at the Maharashtra, you can see that in education, that is a fourth column, we have scored 64. But if you go below and see that what can happen with this particular, I don't know whether I can move down. Yes. The last state, you can see the Bihar, and you can see the figures 32, 31, 66, 29, 18, and so on and so forth. These are the scores out of 100 which are in the public domain. The point that I want to give emphasis on is that we have to really focus on these particular issues, and the benefit of this focus and addressing these issues is at least twofold. The first thing is that our standing, our ranking in the poverty will improve. That is one thing. At the same time, we can at least eradicate the poverty at the national level. And I being representing university, I would focus more on education and sanitation kind of issues, because the rest of the issues, you can see that these issues are being addressed by government. For example, the clean energy, affordable energy, I think we have some role to play. For example, our research scholars can address the issue of solar energy more affordable. They can come with the innovative schemes, in what way these devices can be affordable, and how we can spread this particular solar energy across the country. So indirectly, we are helping out these parameters as well. But subsidizing this particular solar energy will come from the center only. So similarly, sanitation program, yes, our NSS students will definitely go and visit to each and every village, make them aware about the sanitation, organize a cleanliness drive campaign and help out all the rural areas. See, if you focus on this poverty and the head count below poverty line, I think 80% are coming from the rural areas and about 20% are from the urban areas. So we literally have to be more focused on the villages, and that should be the strategy of individual. So central government has some role to play. They will play by coming at various schemes where district collector of Satara, I think he has thrown some light on those schemes also. The state government will adopt those things and try to deploy these schemes at the state level. The district collectorate and district administration will again continue this scheme. But what about the universities, colleges? Most of the participants are coming from the area. What are our roles to play in this particular eradication of the poverty? So our roles are vital, and I would say that they should be more focused. We should identify the areas in which either we can work at individual level. For example, as I said, as a research scholar, can work on the solar energy devices, or we can at least collaborate with local administration like district collector or the Gram Panchayat, and at least tell them, make awareness about this kind of thing and get involved in those all activities also. So if you do that kind of thing, I think we will definitely try to achieve the goals. Otherwise, the numbers in the red cell, I think they are alarming. And unless otherwise we improve upon this alarming number, the eradication of the poverty would be really impossible. So I advise all those who are interested to look into at the micro level to analyze this particular data. The data is being in the public domain. They can visit to the Niti Aayog and see that how each and every state is doing. Of course, then at the national level, at the central level, they must be looking at what is the state they should address first, this particular issue. From the within country also, we can have a ranking of this particular thing. And we have got that particular thing. So what message I would like to give is that the efforts are required to be made not only at the central government level, but it should start from the individual level. It should at the institutional level. It should be at I can say that the local governing authorities level, state level, and finally at the central level. And I think these kind of gathering and these kind of meetings will have definitely encourage the participants and their institutions to get involved into these activities, and we can be more focused. For example, if I come to this particular fourth one, we are having in Maharashtra, we are having a 64 score. So can we not put a target of making it at least 75 or 80 in the next couple of years, maybe 2 years or 3 years? And accordingly, now our all programs should be focused on. So this is how we should start. So it will have a twofold as a benefit, as I told you. It will place our country in a high ranking, a good ranking. It will improve the ranking. At the same time, more and more children will be, we can bring them in the education system. And the same thing should happen for each and every SDGs over there. So improving SDG will have a direct impact on improving our status in the poverty. When I say improving in the status of the poverty, means eradicating the poverty at the state and national level. I think I would end up and conclude by saying that it is not merely a government responsibility, but the responsibility starts from individual. I think with this, I should conclude. with this, I must thank Dr. Lesan Azadi for inviting me and for giving the inaugural address. Thank you and have a good time.